gotta make an example out of niggas. Sometimes. How many times I gotta, damn, how many times I gotta, man, how many times I gotta, nah, yeah. Look, how many times I gotta pay for something and keep on getting nothing back? How I'ma pray for something when God ain't helping me with that? How many times I gotta make an investment into my dream just to find out the money I spent was on a scheme, another scam, another man acting like he one thing when he clearly ain't that. He ain't really who he seemed to be. Blind man selling me a scenery. I started as a fan, now I'm the man that I don't mean to be. Fuck it, we got x-rays sitting in the trunk. I hope you ready, cause exposing you is something that we want. You know I'm petty, if the ball is in my court, I'm finna dunk. Take the foul, cause the charge ain't really what you want. I think I heard you say you took 100 features in a month. I had to laugh, 100 features ain't shit if it ain't gas. How you taking niggas money, but you passing out trash? Everybody get a feature like you passing out ass. Your integrity in question, I think you pretty dope, but you act like you the Pope. Why you selling niggas hope? Talking about you doing me a favor, man, I almost choke. Like my 2,500 that I sent you was a joke. Boy, you fucking with a goat on a level you ain't seen yet. I ain't even mean yet. I ain't even transformed to Super Saiyan 3 yet. I ain't even trying to make a scene. I'm just showing everybody you ain't really what you seen. I got your feet to the fire, now make a move, nigga. All your fans is watching, they finna choose, nigga. I'm breaking all of the barriers and the rules. I don't care if you a part of the problem, I'ma remove. But you block me. What you think that's gonna stop me? Stop it, you couldn't be on topic. That's bad looking optics. Get your hand out of my pocket before I crashed out like they do. I'm a blue whale in a day woo. I don't fit in this society. Nah, I don't fit in this society. Cause it's always a nigga like you coming through trying to take money out of me. But life goes on. Life goes on. Yeah. Lesson learned.
Man, we're gonna get into it, man. It's your boy Blackbird tapping in with Valley Underground Media. You know, we here with Christian, you know, with Scrybe streaming. We gotta get the other side of the story, man. Sometimes we only see one side, and, you know, for the people, it's good to see the other side of the story, you know. So go ahead, introduce yourself, man. Let the people know your name, what you do, what's your company.
Yeah, as you said, I'm Christian Phyfier. I'm the CEO of Scrybe Streaming. Been doing this for 5 years now and having a blast with it, man. We're kind of open to whatever, anything and everything. Yeah. You know, artists are going to be artists at all times. So, yeah, you know, it's all good. Yeah, we're here. Happy to be here with you, man.
Happy to be here too, man. Appreciate you for having me, for sure.
Of course.
So we're going to get into it. So what specific issue does Scrybe address for artists that traditional streaming services have yet to resolve?
Our biggest thing is helping artists get paid, man. Yeah. And keeping their control.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of obviously underlying issues and things like that in terms of service and AI and all these things that are coming about. But the biggest thing for artists is helping artists get paid.
Yeah, for sure.
So off of 1,000 fans, a typical artist can make $500 a month. Mm-hmm. Off 1,000 fans on any other platform, you might make a few pennies.
He's right. Yeah.
You know, so
that's true.
When you're talking about upping the amount of revenue, your return on investment for your music by 1,100 times the traditional rate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And being a free platform to use, it doesn't cost you anything to distribute your music.
Wow.
You know, so we carry all hosting, we carry everything. The artist and I are typically like, we don't make any money unless the artist does.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So we looked at the game. You know, like I was a sports agent, music agent for 15 years before this. We did digital marketing, had one of the biggest studios in Phoenix. Yeah. And I was looking at my clients and I was just like, these guys are not making any money. They're paying all their money to advertise themselves. Yeah. And the checks were coming into my agency first, and then we would distribute them to the artist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? You know, like, and I know how much work they put in to get the music where we got it. And I'm looking at their checks like, this ain't enough.
Yeah.
You know, you got Spotify over here saying, make it enough. No, I'm just kidding. Right. But you know,
they is, man. Cause like, cause I've been showing my team too, like, you know, just about direct to consumer, you know, that just trying to just go that route, because recently I had just got a streaming check from, like, you know, from all the platforms my music's on. Yeah. And it was like $5. Yeah. You know, wasn't nothing. So I'm like, you know, then I ended up putting some music on, you know, Gumroad, and, sold a couple copies of a single, sold a couple copies of an album, made $100 within 24 hours.
Right.
So it was like, you know, I think that is the better route for an independent artist to take. You know,
exactly.
I think signing your life away just to do something that you can absolutely do yourself, you know, is pretty crazy.
Yeah, no,
you know?
for sure. For sure. I think, you know, even with like, you talk about like Gumroad, you talk about even a lot of companies out there, and you say like, okay, well, you know, on these platforms, I can also make more money. The other biggest issue is like our revenue is recurring. Yeah. So you're talking about, you know, you might get, you know, say 100 subscribers your first month at 50 cents, you're making $50. And you're like, oh, $50 doesn't pay my bills. But it's actually, you're looking at it $600 a year. You know what I'm saying? Because that 50 cents is recurring. Those are subscribers who are subscribed to you at 50 cents, and no one cancels a 50-cent subscription. Right. So you have to remember that as an artist, and that's the click, is that you're looking at the return on investment on a month-to-month basis, not on your first month.
Man, I hope y'all listening too, because he really dropping gems right now. So y'all getting some exclusive, man, y'all getting some exclusive stuff right now. Can you explain how the creator-controlled pricing model functions for singles, albums, and entire catalogs?
Yeah, so any artist can go on there, and when you establish your account in MyScribe, again, distribution is 100% free. You're going to establish your catalog price, your album price, and your single price. Yeah. So, and that's something that can be set. Now, the cap is 50 cents because we cap it because artists get greedy. Yeah. And some artists will come on there and say, oh, we want to put it up there for $10 a month. Well, nobody wants to, Spotify is 13. Why would they pay $10 a month just for you? Right. You know, even when we had Kanye come on, Kanye said, I want to put it on there for $20. We had to tell Kanye, no, you got to figure out how to work in our ecosystem to make it make sense. Yes. And he found out after that there was a lot more money in that recurring revenue than it was in the one-time $20 a month that you would get from anybody else. Yeah. But to break it down is artists have all that control. They can make it free. They can make it 5 cents, 10 cents, whatever they want. They make it a penny for a song every single month, and make their album 25 cents and make their catalog 50 cents. Wow. You know, if they have, you know, enough music, and you can price that however you see fit. Yeah. You got 100 songs, then make your whole catalog 50 cents a month. You got 2 songs, make your catalog 10 cents or 15 cents a month. Yeah. Make it worth, you know, but at the end of the day, most fans, true fans, are like 50 cents. Take my money, even if you have one song. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still 50 cents.
And that's a good deal, man. I mean, like you said, nobody's going to cancel a 50-cent
That's the key.
At one point, you're just going to forget about it. You're going to be like, what, 50 cents? Where did that come from? 50 cents?
That's it. I mean, we have a retention rate right now of like 30%, 40%. So, I mean, you're talking about Kanye, who put music on our app last May, has maintained 30 to 40% of the people who subscribed to him back then, because they probably forgot about it. I hope they don't watch it, because right now they're gonna remember, oh shit, let me go. But there's still music on here that you can't get anywhere else anyway. So it's still good to still be on Scrybe for that reason.
And how is the upload process? Like when people go to upload, like, is there certain guidelines that they have to follow as far as, you know, like album art, you know, if they got royalties, you know, as far as like if they have to, I guess what I'm like samples.
Yeah. So the breakdown is, we'll go back, we'll just kind of break those all down. Album art, we've broken the traditional has to be square album art. You can upload a circle, a triangle. Your album art can be any shape, color, whatever you want. That's one thing that we said that I was like, yo, get rid of. Because like you go to most distribution platforms, they're like, yo, it has to be a square, it has to fit in these guidelines. We don't have that. Your album art can be whatever shape you want it to be. When you talk about like collaborations, we have, so if you have a feature or a collaboration with somebody else, like say me and you've done a song together, as long as you have a MyScribe account, I can literally send you my code, and then you put it on the song, and then it makes us a collaborator. And if we agree that the song is 25 cents a month, it automatically splits what we earn between us. So if I promote it and I do 100,000, you know, subscribers, and you still only do 10, doesn't matter. You're still getting what I put into it. That's why collaboration is so great with MyScribe. So it just makes it a lot easier. Samples. Now, using samples on music right now, we do have a regulator in there. It's because everything, when you upload music with MyScribe, it's immediate. So it's no 3 to 7 day waiting period, nothing like that. The minute you press upload, once it's done, it's up. Like it's an immediate upload.
That's fire. So that's fire.
All of our regulatory things, like when you talk about like samples and, you know, like if stolen music or licensed music, things like that, those come, but they're going to come later. So the key is you might upload something that has a sample that you haven't paid for. And I'm not saying you should, but the minute it gets caught or the minute someone presses like, hey, review or whatever earnings you've made are going to be held. So it's just best to still follow your protocol when releasing music. Yes, it is not to say more lenient because of our immediate release. So technically, yes, it's more lenient than another distributor. But at the end of the day, you still want to be cautious of what you're uploading because, your music will get taken down and any money you earn from that, you will be liable to pay back. So you got to be careful just from the artist standpoint. I'm not your attorney, but I am trying to protect the artist a little bit on that side.
Okay. So which key performance indicators are currently prioritized by the team? Like creator growth, subscriber retention, revenue, or, you know, just any?
From our side as a whole, our biggest thing is to get the artist right now. We're really trying to educate the artists on this model and presenting them what the future is going to look like. I think that a lot of scribes are going to pop up eventually. They're going to try to duplicate our model. There's nothing like us right now, but they will try in the future. You have to understand because even from an independent label standpoint, when you're talking about different things, there's more money in the return on investment from a scribe than there is from a Spotify. From a label standpoint. Like if you're not one of the big 3, big 4 labels who are back-ended on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, all those other indie labels are going to make more money from Scrybe than they would from any other platform out there. So our biggest thing right now is to educate the artists, especially the indie artists. We believe, and we stand by it, is that the artist is the connection to the fan. So where most companies out there say, like, and we've been told 1,000,000 times, you can see it in my DMs, you can see it in the comments. You'll see people say, oh, if you make this good for the fan, the artist will come. That makes no sense. How do you have a streaming app and say fans come here, but there's no music here? And then the artist will come. No, ours is get the artist. Artists have to remember and have to break themselves from the matrix that they are in, that you are in control of your fan base. If you are Kanye West proves it all day long. La Russell and all these other guys, they prove it every day when they throw a show or they release an album. If you create a connection with your fan base, they will go wherever you want them to go. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's like, oh, well, how do I get my fans? Make them love you more. You know?
Cash, you gonna like this, bruh. You gonna like when you hear this. Because I got a homie back at the crib and he's been on, you know, on the education part, like just trying to tell, you know, educate the artists on owning their fan base. You know, so
that's it.
You know, that's very good. You know, that you saying that, you know, putting a stamp on that, you know, just people don't understand how important that really is when it comes to, like you said, just leading your fans in the direction that you want them to go. You know?
Connect better with people and you'll be able to sell them anything you want. The key is not, we're here and like, I come from an agent background again. So for me, I'm always thinking about the artists in every single avenue of revenue that they can create, whether it's merch, shows, streaming, you know, direct to fan streaming, subscriptions, whatever it can be. I'm always thinking about your avenues of revenue, but you can't create multiple avenues of revenue if you don't have a connection with people. The key is it's always about people. We've been for the last 25 years to believe that the game is about bots. It's about no connection. You're getting streams and you don't know who the name of. We made it a big thing that in your MyScribe account, when you put music out and you get a subscriber, in your right there on your screen, it will tell you the name and sometimes if that person approves it, the email of the person who just subscribed to you. So you can log in on a daily basis and say, hey, this is day 1 of me using Scrybe streaming. Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you. You can see the names of the people who are subscribed to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the key is you could do that live and people are like, oh, did he just say thank you? You can't go on Spotify, see who streamed your music and say thank you for streaming my music. You won't know unless they screenshot it and post it. You know, so we wanted to make that a big deal.
They still have to tag you and you know, and then it still has to reach you. You know, so man, that's
we have some crazy features on this next version as well that are going to make that connection between the artist and fan even better. And I might leak it. We'll see how this conversation goes. I might leak it.
Y'all just stay tuned in. Stay tuned in. So what defines an effective artist onboarding experience at Scrybe?
So an effective onboarding experience, you mean like
the efficiency, like from start to finish, from creating the account to uploading their first track, what's the process like?
I would say it's like anything that we try to make the process as seamless as possible to what you already know.
Yeah.
Your CD Baby, TuneCore, DistroKid, it's the same process. I would say it's a little easier, honestly, in a lot of ways. We try to lessen the amount of questions. Yes, it looks different in some aspects, like collaboration features and things like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's the same. I mean, if you want to do a bulk upload, you click the bulk upload button, you scan all your music, you drop it in,
okay,
and then you go through and name and number all your songs, right?
Yeah.
If you do a single upload, the biggest difference is that instead of like uploading a single and then like adding the album art kind of thing, you add your album art or your album in a sense, and then it gets added in. When you try to add a single, you add all the music underneath that single.
Okay.
So the key for that was because we know that artists will release their single first, and then later they'll release the album that includes that single.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So for us, we said, what you're going to do is you come into MyScribe, you're uploading music, you're going to create your album, save it, and then if there's just one single underneath it, you add the one song underneath it. And then if later you want to release the rest of the music underneath it, you could just keep adding music and dumping it underneath that album, even though it's already released.
Yeah.
You can just start adding stuff to it.
Okay.
And then the crazy part is that, so I mean, that's the breakdown, like the process you go through, you name the song, blah, 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 blah. The crazy part is that while it's live, you can change anything you want. So if you spelled something incorrectly on other platforms, you got to remove it, wait for it to come down, and then re-upload. With us,
that's exactly what I mean. With
hit the edit,
like stuff like that. Yeah.
Hit the edit, change it. If me and you made a song together and then we fell out and said, I don't want you on my song no more. Like Rick Ross and Drake on Aston Martin music type shit. You can go up there and say, you know what? I'm deleting Drake from this song. And I'm taking his verse off, I'm taking off, and then boom, no more Drake, no more Aston Martin music, remove you as a collaborator, hit save, done.
Wow.
Done deal. Wow. And as long as, of course, like legalities go, but this is the power of control that we're putting back in the artist's hand.
Okay.
Back in the day, you didn't have all that control. Now you got to go through that label and this. No, as long as you handle your business, and we're giving the artist the opportunity and the ability to handle their business on the back end, which I know they sometimes hate. But this is what comes with controlling the music. This is why we're, if you don't like labels, this is what the label technically would do for you on the back end. Is they would call that other artist label and say, hey, Drake don't want to fuck with Ross no more. We need to figure out how to get him off the song, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you don't want them, you got to have your own team.
Right.
But your team should be more excited because there's more money in this. There's more management. So now we're making the manager's job come back to life again.
Yeah. Which kind of leads me to my next question. Like, do you think it's more important now than what it used to be for an artist to try to chase a major record deal, or to just really lock in on their craft as an independent artist and, as you said, own your fan base and really, build a solid team where you can push, where the artist is being pushed not only by itself, but or him or her has a team behind them and, a good distribution system?
Coming from where I come from, my background as an agent, my goal was to always help artists kind of build that career. And then if they wanted, they had the opportunity to go any direction they wanted. They could go to the label. I still stand by that. I'm not actually against labels. Like a lot of people think that I'm definitely for ownership of your music and being an artist, being a true businessman in this. I think labels need to change certain things, but I am not against the relationships and things that they have to help artists continue to grow. Like when you talk about somebody like me and probably somebody like yourself, depending on the person you are who has that grit to go out and push and to get in front of somebody's face and to say, listen to my music, and to go find shows and to build a team and inspire other people to want to be a part of your team, the manager and the agent and the PR person and all that stuff, and be able to sit down, then if you have that fight in you, 100%, you gotta use that.
I think that's what a lot of artists are lacking nowadays, man. They're lacking that hunger. They're lacking the fight. They're lacking the motivation, the dedication for the most part. Because if you ain't dedicated, if you're not waking up saying, "Hey, I want this," then it's you really should just stop doing it. You know, because you got to wake up every day. It's just and that's just with anything. You got to wake up every day and say, "Hey, I want this. I'm gonna be the next." Whatever that may be. So I think that's what a lot of artists are lacking in the community, and what I think what independent artists chase is support. They want everyone to support, and what they just should be focusing on is just their craft. And just putting out good quality
content and learning the game. And that's another thing is artists always want to and I'm cool with the saying I want to be the best artist I can be, but also learn a little bit around your ecosystem. Understand how to move through this business, this business world, so that when you're, when somebody approaches you with a contract and says, this is what we want to do with you, or this is Scrybe streaming, you should know about these platforms. You should know about Even. You should know about Scrybe. You should know about these new platforms coming up and dive into them a little bit. I would still say, 70% focusing 100%, focusing on your craft and being the best writer you can be. But at the end of the day, you should also know about the ecosystem that you're in. You don't start, a barbershop and not know how to run a successful barbershop. Even though you might be good at cutting hair, but you got to know that, hey, if I'm going to open up a barbershop, I got to know how to fill these other seats over here with other barbers, and then know about how to, pay these guys and what the rate should be. You can't, so you got to have that aspect. And a lot, back to what you're saying, a lot of artists are looking for support. And I truly believe, people say that all the time. It's why don't you try to get more people to support Scrybe? I don't believe in support. I believe in create a good product that people want and that they need, and they will come back over and over and over again. If I haven't made a product that you need, then that means there's something I need to change. But to say, support me and just download my app, they're like, well, who am I going to listen to? Don't just support me and open the app a day because, every day I got to open this for Christian. No, I hope you're opening it because it's an artist you want to listen to. It has your gym playlist on it. It has, your favorite, you got Kanye, it's got whoever on there that you want. And that's what the key is for me. I don't believe in just support me blindly. Support me because I'm creating something that you want.
Man. And that's what I feel like. If you out here doing cool shit, people are gonna want to be a part of that.
Exactly.
There's no question. I'm one of those people too. I want to be a part of some cool shit.
Me too. Hell yeah.
Don't leave me out. What I gotta do to be a part of this?
Right. And that's the key right there. If you're an artist, do some cool shit, man. Stop doing what you see, smoking weed in front of a car or whatever. And I got nothing against smoking weed. I don't smoke, but okay, cool. But climb a mountain and smoke some weed or something. Do something cool that says, today, day one of me climbing a new mountain to smoke weed on the top of a new mountain. Let people, and then when you get up there, play your music or perform or rap something. I don't know, but you got to get out of the consistent stuff. You got to, you see and you do, rather than see, recreate it, and then do something else and do what he said. Do some cool shit, man.
For real. That's what people don't understand.
That's it. That's the key out of all this. Go do some cool shit.
So what would success look like for someone in this position within the first 90 days? As an artist, say if I, after today, I'm which I'm probably gonna do anyway, because I got a bunch of artists too that I'm gonna actually migrate over to.
We got podcasts on there too. Take the audio from this and upload it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, say less. Yeah,
there's the whole podcast section on there.
Heck yeah, I'll definitely do that. So as an artist, if I'm starting today, boom, in 90 days, what could be my success if my grit is at 100%?
I say for a lot of artists, my goal for every artist that adds music is, because success looks different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But my goal is to say, whatever your monthly expenses are, try to get that with Scrybe. You know what I'm saying? First things first, get out of a job. So if you're making $3,500 a month from your day job right now, whatever it is, working somewhere, blah, 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 blah. Well, then the goal is, that 7,000 people on Scrybe at 50 cents a month pays you $3,500 a month. The goal is to say within 90 days, I want 7,000 subscribers. What is my most efficient way to get to that place.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? How do I reach 7,000 people? You can't do that on Spotify. You can't do that on Apple Music. And I'm not here to I'm not trying to muddy the water. I don't think that you should choose one or the other. I'm just saying with us, you can put in a plan and a place. You could talk to ChatGPT, Claude, any AI you want and say, hey, I am trying to get to 7,000 subscribers at 50 cents a month on a new app called Scrybe Streaming, which ChatGPT already know.
Go ahead. That's going. I get to my next question. That's going to bring us to my next question. Go ahead.
If you could break that down and say, okay, that's my goal. Now, how do I do it? That's the trigger right there. That's the trigger point. And after month one, you can say, cool, I got 1,000. At 50 cents a month, I'm making $500 a month. That covers my blank bill. Okay, month two. Okay, I got now I'm up to 4. Everything is accumulative here. It's not like it resets every single month. It's accumulative.
Yeah.
Figure out how to get to that next point every single month until you reach that goal. And you can see yourself leaving your day job. You can see yourself getting out of the rat race little by little. Every subscriber is one step closer to getting to that goal. And so within 90 days, most artists who are strong and go hard, of course, it's different about different fan bases. But there's no reason why people shouldn't see 500 to 1,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we also try to explain here is that we're not the come here, get on a playlist type platform.
Right. Yeah.
We are the come here, get a bag, go get your fans and then get a bag and bring them here and keep trying to convince them to come every day. It's like, hey, did you subscribe to me on Scrybe? Oh, no, I haven't yet. Well, do you like my music? Yeah. Well, then here it is.
Right.
So whether it's putting your whole album up on Spotify to get the streams there. And then you say my deluxe version is for my whatever fans, that's going on Scrybe or however, one way I really like what artists did is they took the 30-second version of all their music and they put that on Spotify. And then after every song, when the 30 seconds stopped, it said, thank you for listening to 30 seconds of my music. If you really like this, go find the rest on Scrybe.
Smart.
Right? Because you're still getting the stream.
Yeah. That's the thing when we say by doing some cool shit, man. Like that's cool as hell. Like
cool as hell.
Who gonna think of that? Right. And then not only that, he's running you can run the streams up just off the 30 seconds.
Off the 30 seconds. Yeah.
So it's ways you can utilize the major distribution platforms versus the platforms that aren't as big as them, where you can utilize both of them and coincide.
That's it.
And really run it up.
It takes a little extra thought that people usually don't want to give. That little extra thought goes a long way though to say, why am I giving the whole song here? They don't pay me as much. Let me put it on here. Blah, 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 blah. And then every listener is still transitioning where you want them to go.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. That's all.
So how you feel about all this AI stuff going around, man? As far as the AI covers and, even songs, some people are using AI to make songs, making beats and everything. Me personally, I really don't care. I see a lot of controversy about it just all over that I'm seeing right now, just with a lot of platforms right now. How do you feel about that?
To me, it's if there's still creativity in AI.
Yeah.
If as much creativity as you want to put into it, I've made AI songs. I wrote the song and then I play guitar and play several instruments. And if you feed it the initial chords and then say hey, these are the initial chords I want on the song, add some spice to it, add whatever, and layer, cool. But your initial chords are yours. The song is still yours, and then, from there, if there's multiple ways I think that it can be used as a tool if used the right way. There are, of course, people out there who are just yo, ChatGPT, write me a song. Yo, Suno, make me a beat, put the songs together, put the beat together, and then they release it. I feel like that's an uninspired way to live. Yeah. And I feel like that music won't do well in general. Right. But when you put your heart into the lyrics, because you went through some shit and you wrote it, and then you just can't sing. So you just went ahead and had Suno sing it, or you had one of the other platforms out there do it. I think it's an expressive way. A lot of people want to make music, but they don't know exactly how to make a beat or find a producer or whatever, but they can write good stuff. Yeah. You know, so, and it's funny, I'm actually put it here first. One of the things that I'm going to do, it has nothing to do with AI, but I want to go through the experience of what an artist has to go through to make music, you know, so that I can better build Scrybe. Yeah. So actually, I'm going to go for a whole month and I'm actually going to write a song, produce it, get a producer, all that stuff. I'm going to record it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to release it just to see the difficulty at which it takes to make music so that I can then better put, you know, some type of whatever into this app and know what the artist has to go through.
And see, y'all, this is what you got to understand. So you got somebody right here that, you know, that's not readily accessible, but somebody that you could maybe reach out to and, you know, talk to and get some advice, because he's doing some great things. And like, you won't catch Spotify or Apple CEOs, you know, taking themselves through a process like that so they can actually see, again, the other side of the fence, you know, to see what the process that the artist or, you know, the creative has to go through just to even get their music out there, to obtain the fan, and not only retain the fan. So
yeah, for sure.
So I know there's some public conversations on Instagram,
you
know, involving Philay and Scrybe, man. How did that situation impact the team? Like what lessons were learned, you know, through that process right there?
You know, I don't back down from stuff like that. I like it. I think that what Philay was voicing was something that a lot of artists feel. Yeah. And as we finally sat down, and as I got to know him, I realized that he is kind of he's kind of is that person for the artist. He really does. He's really attacking industry companies, like, and trying to help the artist, you know, from his perspective, you know, and what he's gone through, you know, the pay to play, the streaming apps not paying, the streaming app CEOs selling their souls, understanding that a lot of this stuff, especially from the streaming side, it's all payola, and there's other back end issues that we're not going to go into the legal side, whatever. But from his perspective, he's seeing it, you know. And then you look up, you Google Christian Phyfier and Scrybe streaming, or any of my partners or whatever, and you see, you know, okay, a multi-million-dollar valuation. You see all these things, and you're like, yo, like, we ain't never seen that in our communities before. Right. You ain't never seen nobody, you know, a techie come out. He's like, yo, yeah, who's really behind your pockets? Right. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
And so when that is not necessarily a fear, but you're like, I'm not working with nobody who's getting ready to sell me out. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not working with a sellout. Yeah. I understand it. I get it. But then when I sit down and I say, look, man, we're going to sit right here and I'm going to sit here right now. I built this thing all out my own pocket. I got my little mini team, and our valuation and everything we built has come off our backs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so even with Ye, you know, sitting down, Ye wanted to call it the Yeezy app. You know what I'm saying? We have stood 10 toes down on every single thing we believe in. The first person who tried to come and buy us out in our first 2 years offered me a $25 million contract to just go away, a company out of Canada. I have the paperwork. I can show you. Yeah. You know, my mom was pissed. You ain't never seen 25 million in my life. You know, she's like, what? So what you thinking? You take that. But me and my partners and my teams, we truly stand by what we are building. And that was one of the things I had to explain to him. Yeah. And him being a proponent of the artist, somebody who is an activist for the artist, he did the right thing. Mm-hmm. And I saw the passion in him, that he's not necessarily coming at me. He's just trying to say, look, you know,
this is what's happening.
This is what's happening. Yeah. This is where the game is. This is what I'm seeing. Are you one of them? Right. And then if you're not, come talk to me. Yeah. You know, if you real, come. And I said, you know, look, everything that I am, I stand on business. I stand on what I do. No one can come in here and, like, when we talked, I said, ask me the hardest questions you can think of. Yeah. You know, if you got a spot in my terms and conditions that you're worried about, bring it up. Right. Because I'm not a lawyer. I didn't write all those, but I went through, I thought they were good, whatever. But if you see a spot that is concerning, I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, if this really is that bad, I'll change it. Right. Because I am here for the artist, you know, if I believe. Right. Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah.
So, when we sat down, we kind of came to a head. I think he had a better understanding of what we are. He said he's getting ready to release music on Scrybe. Yeah. I said, you know, I like your energy. I want you to, if you truly believe in Scrybe, I would love for you to be an activist for this brand and for this, for what we're building, because more artists need to know we exist. Yeah. You know, and I think we have something
wrong with speaking up. You know, closed mouths don't get fed. You know,
that's it.
You know, as an artist, if you care enough about your craft as much as Philae does, not just only about his craft, but everyone else around him, you know, don't be afraid to speak up, because you never know what things you might be able to change, you know?
Yeah, no.
So, you know, sometimes they did that to Kanye. I mean, you know, he was ranting and raving, but I mean, the stuff that he was saying was, you know, true.
Not wrong. Yeah.
You know, it was, it was true. Yeah. So, I mean, and then people were looking at him like you were crazy, you know, so that's kind of how, like, they're looking at him, but like, yeah, it may look like he's crazy, but you know, he's actually got good intentions. He's actually speaking some real knowledge. Like, and like I told you, I've had some personal conversations with him at certain events and got a couple interviews with him on my page, you know, so, you know, he is a good dude.
He is actually a good dude. He's a very talented artist, man. The music that he makes, I ran through his music, went to his website, and I was like, the music is absolutely fire. Yeah, and that was another reason why I sat down with him, because at the end of the day, it is about the craft. You know, when I'm listening to somebody and I'm like, okay, this person isn't making trash music. He is an activist. He is speaking up. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to do that with every single person who is fearful. They at some point, y'all going to have to come and watch the interviews and go, you know, they're going to have to do their own due diligence, because I can't keep sitting down and taking, you know, 3-4 hour long meetings just to explain the platform so that somebody is no longer fearful of our own culture and what we build. But, you know, because that's really what it comes down to is like, if I truly believe sometimes, and this is why I usually don't do these, because I'm going to say this, I truly believe that if I was a different race or culture, we would probably be well beyond where we are right now. Oh yeah. You know, definitely. Because I think that our culture is afraid sometimes to work with each other, because we are. It's crazy, man. We're made that way.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. It's like we pit against each other when if we just.
That's because for a long time, what you would notice is that the labels, while the label or the radio or whoever is owned by a certain culture or a certain demographic, and then you would find that the person that they would come in to hand the contract to the artist would be your own culture. You know, so it'd be me handing a contract to you, and that contract, you take it back to your people and they'd be like, that's full of crap. Well, you would be like, yo, this contract is full of crap. And you would be looking at me as the representative of the whole label, where I'm like, I didn't write this contract. I'm just the person handing it to you. And now we're looking at each other, or you're looking at the powers that be as somebody of your culture. And you're like, yo, I'm not working with that, man, because they screw up, and it's not that way. We are not in control to that extent. And for the first time, we are in control to the full extent. And I'm just trying to say, like, finally, for once, like, yo, there's no need to necessarily be fearful of what we're building for once, you know?
And how important was that for somebody like such as Philae, who has a big voice, to, you know, get that point across, you know, like, hey, like, this is what we're about. We're not nothing like these guys over here. You know, like, how important was it to, you know, just to get that message across?
Oh man, it was highly important. That's why I said, like, that's why I sat down with them. I feel like that might be one of the, like, as far as independence goes, might be one of the critical moves that we've made, especially here in Arizona. Like, I would say, like, we're, 120,000 users in, I don't know how many artists, and I could say probably less than 2% of our user base comes from Arizona. Wow. Where I mean, you're in our headquarters right here. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
My goal has always been to make Arizona an independent hub for music and film and all that good stuff. Like, I when I think of like Cali, and you think of New York and Atlanta and other locations, you always say, okay, those are the mainstream hubs. You know, you go to Cali if you want this, you go to New York if you want this type, you go to Atlanta if you're running this. I always said that I wanted to put Arizona on the map as that independent spot. That spot where if I want to remain independent, they got the independent studio out there, they got the independent festival, they got the independent Scrybe is there. So if you're an artist and you want all that, you come here, you stay here for a month and get your stuff going and make the relationships. But I'm, you know, as Willie Norpole would say, I'm an outsider, you know, coming from Cali and Indiana, born in Hawaii, you know, only been here for 20 years now. I'm still an outsider. I guess it's a hard place to build those stepping stones in a sense. But like I said, we're still under 3% user base from Arizona. Philae being here as the voice, as somebody who is boisterous, was I wouldn't say a strategic move, but something that was a critical move for us, because we want Arizona. You know?
And I think also, because I'm not from here either, but I think what's happening now is the outsiders, so to speak, are the ones making the noise. You know, and so people are like, you know, hey, why isn't such and such?
Right.
You know, so I think it is kind of hard for us to adjust, but we roll with the punches, you know, we roll with the punches and we make it happen, you know.
Right.
So I mean,
Yeah,
you know, we love Phoenix.
I love
Arizona.
I'm not even a person like I honestly I consider myself a true Phoenician at this point. And
after 20 years.
After 20 years,
on,
honestly, I was a Phoenician day one. I love this place.
Me too.
When I moved here from Indiana, and as much as I love, like I love my Pacers, I love my Colts, but I got season tickets to the Suns courtside every season. You'll see me right there. Matt Ishbia, owner of the Suns, like this. I'm here. You'll see me season tickets to the Cardinals. I'm on the floor. I'm talking about sitting. Bidwell and I got pictures like this. This is my dog, you know. So I am a true Phoenician. I want our teams to win. I want, you know, I love. I mean, you know, I ain't here rocking it's the upside down Arizona,
hard, you know?
But I'm not here rocking Pacers hats in LA. I do have my LA hats because everybody has an LA hat.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm truly about this state, and I want what's best for this state from an entertainment standpoint. I've already owned studios. We've done this. Business is business, and I'm going to grow in any way. But I would love for it to put every artist in Arizona on first. You know, I would love for this to be the catalyst location that we grow and blow from. And if it can, that would be great. But we're not, obviously business is business. Wherever, if that's just not what y'all want, then we'll do what we got to do.
Yeah. So what does accountability entail at Scrybe when facing controversy or public criticism?
Oh man, accountability is probably the main reason why we've gotten to this point of success in general. I mean, Scrybe is one of 13 businesses that I own, that we've invested in. For me, I think the industry lacks accountability in so many ways.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why you come across people who are fearful and, you know, who have different issues and raise different, you know, like you get your fillets who are kind of worried. It's because for the longest time, no one would speak up to the issues that were held. You know, they were like, oh, nah, like you just, whatever, bro, take it or leave it. You just gonna eat what we give you.
Right.
And I'm not gonna explain to you the ingredients of this. I know your stomach is hurting, keep eating it. You know? And for me, I try to be as boisterous with our accountability and what we do as much as possible. Even when Ye added music, you know, we had a lot of his, I call them the minions, his little minions, his Ye minions, whatever, come at us and talk about, you know, our security issues and, you know, they came at, I mean, they came at everything they possibly could to try to undermine the brand. But, Scrybe, I treat our socials, and I don't run the socials, but the person who runs the socials, Etienne, our goal is to treat it like it's a human, like it's a person, like Wendy's, you know? And so Scrybe gets underneath every comment. Yeah, that's what, you know, oh, that's how you feel? That's funny because, you know, you'll always see a Scrybe. I mean, if she sees it and, you know, and it's big enough, she, you know, it's going to respond as a human would respond to the thing. We're not just going to sit there and be quiet about stuff. You know?
And you know what? I like that too, because most people that run companies and, you know, and the companies blow up and stuff, they're like, you know, we're going to stay back. But I like them owners that be like, you know, you know, they ain't afraid to stand up for their business, you know, because I'm not gonna let nobody play with my brand either. You know? So I'm the same way. So I definitely feel that.
It's an important key, man. And I think that, and it goes into just being, when you don't have outside investors, we're not like, we ain't got Sprite or somebody endorsing the back end of the funding where I got to be worried about what we say and what we do because they can remove their funding. You can kind of be that person. I'm not saying that we can be crazy because obviously we're still building a business, but in the realm of music and in this form of entertainment, we can be boisterous. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting into politics. We're not getting all those other things, but in this realm, we can definitely be ourselves, you know?
That's for sure.
So that's the key.
So how do you balance protecting the company's reputation while ensuring that artists feel valued and heard?
I think they kind of like our who we are as a person. If an artist, as a person, as a company, if an artist really does a deep dive and they look into what our moral standards and values as a company align with a successful business model for any artist that I think that's trying to grow. Yeah. So any artist that's combating that, you know, it's usually just it's a misalignment of what they believe we are, or what we do, you know? So, you know, I don't know. I think that's like, even with File, back to that, it's just a misalignment of understanding of what we do, who we are, and why we are here. But once you get those points and you see, you're like, and you go through a process and you look at the MyScribe, you look at how easy, they're like, oh, okay, shoot. You look at our terms and conditions, and you say, this really is, it's not really that bad.
Yeah, right.
You know? So in navigating it,
and reading is fundamental.
It really is, man. I wish somebody would just read. But even you don't have to read it these days. Copy and paste it and put it in chat or something, and you don't even gotta do that. Just hit the listen button on most iPods and computer, whatever, iPhones, whatever, and it'll read it to you. Yeah. So, but I think for us it's just more so to keep things aligned to how we handle those moments is just more so to educate somebody. Yeah. You know, I haven't met an artist yet who's been educated on our platform who has been like, nah, this is trash. Right. You know, like.
Right. And I mean, if you got 120,000 users, I mean, come on, man. Most people can't even get 100 subscribers. Yeah. To a YouTube channel. So, you know, hey, so you know, that's not an easy feat, man. Y'all got to get this guy his flowers, man. Y'all got to give him his respect. I
appreciate it.
And, you know, I see the people in the comments, you know, letting it be known like, hey, this ain't the same. Yeah, this is not the same.
Shout out to all of them, man. Yeah. Everybody who, when it went down, the crazy part is it was partially, not I would say my festival, but we were a part of that festival where that stage was, that every artist that went on there was verified and pushed through by a Scrybe person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So us putting File on was because we're like, yo, your music is dope. We ignored everything that had been said. Right. We're just like, your music is dope. Yeah. You know, and then when he saw me, he was like, then it was like, oh, okay. And then I saw in that moment, he had a mask on, but I still knew. I was like, oh, you about to take advantage of this opportunity. And then so it became what it became. But, you know, it's everybody who went in and said, you know, said good things about myself and about the company and understood that, you know, anybody, like I said, anybody who's come across, I'm not saying I'm the best person in the world. I'm not saying I haven't made mistakes. I'm not saying that I have clients like from back in my agent days that, you know, we were trying. Everything is a part of trying, trial, error, failure. Mm-hmm. You know, I have artists with gold records now, and I have artists that still were scraping the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, so not everybody who touched me just turned to gold. Right. But I can say with every single artist, we tried. Every single person, we didn't just take on people for money. We was looking at their full-on career. And if they executed properly, we would just put out the best ways to try to get them to see return on investment from their music. And I don't know, for me, that's just my genuine standpoint. I've told people this, I could shut down Scrybe and there's nothing that my finances would never be affected in that sense. You know what I'm saying? This is not just, Scrybe warehouse. We got manufacturing companies in there. We got all kinds of things. We got a million other ways. So we're doing at the right spot. Right. This is love. Yeah. It's pure love. And when we come in contact, you know, we have to, you know, I don't think anybody's ever felt anything but pure love for what we do. For sure. So as long as they have love for what they do. Yeah. You know,
so where can the people, you know, like as a new artist or someone that's about to come to Scrybe, where can they download the app? What platforms can they get it from or access it from? Yeah. You know, and where can they find you at on social medias, like as far as like Scrybe?
Yeah. So you can get Scrybe anywhere you can get anything. Like the artists always say, download on all platforms. All platforms. You can go to your Apple Store, your Google Play Store. You can go, if you're one of those nerds who really wants it, you can just go to the website, to the Scrybe streaming. I mean, literally you can get that and you can just make it a web app on your phone if you want it. MyScribe.com is the distribution site, which will have its own app coming out. We actually took it down. We're rebuilding it, bringing it up. V3 will be launched here in about 3 weeks. That's a leak because nobody knows when it's coming out, but it's about 3 to 4 weeks. Our brand new version, which is called the Dawn. So right now we're in the dark, then we go into the Dawn, and it's the flyest version. Yeah. It has some stuff on there that no other music streaming app has had. I'm talking about like low key leak. You'll be able to send fan mail to your artist. You'll be able to
man, y'all heard it here first.
I kind of whispered it, but it is telling you right now. And we're close enough to where I can say it because I don't think anybody can come and just add it to their app the way we can.
Right.
So what we have coming on this next version is to help the artists connect better with their fans through this app. Nice. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to communicate everything on Instagram anymore. Right. You'll have the ability on your own platform.
Wow.
Yeah, we partner with CrowdRev ticketing. So artists who are trying to sell their tickets to shows, CrowdRev ticketing allows that's a whole nother layer.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's getting ready to go into this stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Man, that's exciting to hear.
But yeah, so Scrybe streaming is on Instagram, Facebook. I don't think we're on TikTok. I mean, we're on TikTok, but we're also on, what is it? Twitter, no, X now. We're on there.
X,
and in Threads. So you can find Scrybe streaming anywhere. And it's SCRYBE on anything. You can find me, Christian Phyfier. I just got to type in Christian PHY because you're not going to remember how to spell my name. But we're everywhere, man. I mean, you can Google us, find out articles from forever ago. And we've been pushing for a while, man. So
man, appreciate that, man. Yeah, so y'all hearing it here first, man. You know, we get the deep dive in on Scrybe streaming, man. I hope you artists took some notes and actually listened to some of the gems that he was dropping. You know, it was a lot of good things that was said today. And, you know, shout out to those artists that aren't afraid to use their voice and speak up. You know, man, it's a great thing. You know, I'm glad y'all gonna be able to get the other side of the story, you know, just to see things from a different perspective that you wouldn't normally be able to get. So
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for letting me get that out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk to them.
Yeah, man. So again, man, y'all go ahead and subscribe. It's Blackbird with Valley Underground Media. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Fire.
That was fire.